Hello everyone, my name is Chen-Yi Lin and I'm an advisor of Dr. Yan Guo. And today my topic is monitor chicken heat stress using convolutional neural network. Okay, I'm come from Taiwan. So first, chicken is a common and they also are a major source of protein in our diets. And on the other hand, chicken is not the main economic source in our daily life. Entering sales in Taiwan in 2015, and as we can see, in animal husbandry sale. So it seems that chicken have many benefits in our daily life. So how to sterilize the production of chicken is very important. In tropical and subtropical areas, the heat stress was one of the most challenging problems to chickens. Heat stress will lead health problems are chickens and economical where effects range from decrease the growth rate to increase the mortality percentage. And the math also indicates that chicken in harsh heat stress will decrease the chicken movements and this is a traditional method to evaluate chicken heat stress. Temperature humidity index. And this is a formula of chicken index. Typically, THI equal to 21 is a critical point of the heat stress. And these two figures behind is the THI value and the number of the THI. During my experimental period, and my experimental period was between October to November of 2017. And from the two figures, we can see that there are lower predicted points. Possibility that chicken are in heat stress during the research motivation. Observe chicken behavior and environmental of chicken coop to control heat stress is important in academic research and industries. And the two kinds of conventional methods to evaluate the chicken heat stress was THI and manual observation. However, THI is an indirect indicator, and the manual observation is labor-intensive, imprecise, and subjective. So, an automatic monitoring system in real time is necessary for chicken heat stress. My object to my research can divide into three parts. The first part is to build a low-cost system for acquiring image and environmental factors from the chicken coop. And the second is to monitor activity by imaging system. And the last is to identify the correlation between chicken activity and environmental factors. And my experimental period was during October 12 to November 12 of 2017. And this is my experimental chicken coop. The chicken coop size was 240 by 240 by 210 centimeters. And this is and the right figure is the internal situation of the chicken coop. And 10 chicken was raised in the chicken coop, including 2 neck chicken, like this, and 7 red feeder Taiwan country chicken, like the middle of the figures, and 1 black feeder Taiwan country chicken. And I used a Raspberry Pi for data acquisition. The Raspberry Pi was used to control a temperature humidity sensor to record the environmental data and also control a camera to take the pictures. Next is transmit this data to my personal computer to do field research analysis. This is my procedure. The first step is image acquisition, and the second is the detection of the chicken and drinking cattle. Then I will use the detection result to track chicken movements and drinking time in length. And the last is the analysis of chicken activities. And the activity of chickens including chicken movements and drinking time. Now I want to talk about image acquisitions. I acquire image at a rate of 1 frame per second in the first minute of every hour from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the picture resolution is 1920 by 1080 pixels. And this image I tagged in the image. Now I want to talk about the detection of chicken and drinking cattle. My detection method was faster than And fast RCN was an object detection method. It can localize and classify objects at the same time in an image. And you also like this image. And you also have other advantage of high speed and high accuracy. So for my research, fast RCN was used to detecting different breeds of chickens and drinking cattle in the image. And the fast RCN comprised a fast CNN, region proportional network, object classifier, and bounding box regressors. And fast CNN was used to generate a feature map from the input image. And the region proportional network there was used to localize the object in the image, but it doesn't know the object in each what the object is in each bounding box. So the function of object classifier and bounding box regressor was used to classify this kind of objects in each bounding box. So this is my results of detection. The detection can detect 3 different breeds of chicken and drinking cattle. Like this one is drinking cattle and this one is black feeder Taiwan country chickens. So this is my results of detection. A graphical processing unit, NVIDIA GTX 1080, was used for training and testing my fast RCN model. And I used 1,800 images for testing. And the time to detect a test image about 0.085 seconds. And the overall detection rate was 89.16%. And now I want to talk about chicken movements and drinking time. The chicken movements was between adjacent frames. And these are 2 continuous frames. And as we can see, the same chicken in continuous frame have a different position and different orientations, like this, and this, and this. So my identification of the same chicken is using minimal distance matching and color feature matching. If the minimal distance smaller than the threshold, then I will see the chickens in different frames as the same. On the other hand, if the minimal distance larger than the threshold, then I will use color feature matching for fewer steps. Now I want to talk about the detail of the minimal distance matching. First, I get a center coordinate of each bounding box in each frame. And then I calculate the Euclidean distance between each bounding box in different frames. And the threshold was set to 135 pixels. And now I want to talk about the color feature matchings. And first, I get each bounding box from each frame, and then I use graph card to do background removals, like this. And color distribution method was used to get the color histogram from each chickens, like this. And then chi-square distance was used to calculate the distance between each histogram. If the chicken have a most similar histogram, then I will assume the chicken between 2 frames as the same chicken. This is the result of tracking in chicken movements. And the same chicken in different frames was bound by the same color of bounding box. And the right figure is the trajectory parameter of the same chicken. And I used 316 images for testing, and the tracking rate was 98.94%. And now to talk about chicken drinking times. Chicken drinking time were calculated by tracking the distance of the chicken and drinking cattle in each frame. There's the drinking behavior was defined if the bounding box of chicken overlap with the bounding box of drinking cattle. For this figure, is a case that 3 chickens are drinking water. And this is the result of the chicken activity and THI. The chicken movement was defined as the summation of the location different in the first minutes of each hour. And the drinking time was defined as the summation of the drinking behavior in the first minutes. And we can see the two figures. For chicken movements, we can see the chicken have a high level of movements in the morning and in the evening, and have a low level of movements in the room. And especially in 10 to 17, the movements were inversely proportion to GHI value. On the other hand, for drinking times, the drinking times was proportion to GHI value, especially in 10 to 14. And this is my conclusion. My conclusion can be divided into 5 parts. The first is to automatically monitor chicken movements and drinking time using time-lapse image. And the second is to detect chicken and drinking cattle using facial RCN with 98% accuracy. And to track chicken movements using minimal distance and color future matching with 98.94% accuracy. And the fourth is the correlation between chicken activity and environmental factors are somewhat related indeed. And the last is the system has potential to be used for monitoring chicken heat stress in the future. Thank you for listening.
All right, we have a little bit of time, so we have time for probably 4 questions. Any question for Chen-Yi? Yes.
How do you know which chicken is how do you know the chicken ID?
Sorry?
So you detect chicken and track their movements. How do you know which chicken is which?
Oh, it's the same chicken between 2 friends.
In the beginning, like chicken 1, chicken 2, chicken 3.
Okay.
So how do you know which chicken is which?
Okay. So at first, I can get each frame have 10 chicken. So I can get a bounding box in each frame. And I use the first step is minimal distance. I calculate each bounding box in length, and the distance is the first procedure to discern the distance measure.
When you do an experiment, you must have chicken 1, chicken 2, chicken 3, right? How do you know this ID at the beginning of your experiment? How do you detect this in your image?
Do you mean that how do I know each chickens in the image numbers at the beginning?
Yeah. Let's say you have 10 chickens, right? You must give them ID or name. You need to know this at the beginning of your, let's say, the first grade.
Oh no, at the beginning I don't know the chickens. Which one chicken is lamb for lamb?
So if you have the same, let's say, breed or variety of chicken, you just don't care the individual ID. You treat them as average.
Yes.
Any other questions? I have one question. So I see that your picture here shows that it's very well lit, right? Yeah. And the poultry houses that I've seen, they're dark, they're gloomy, there's a lot of other interferences in there. How do you think this would perform as far as that 98% accuracy that you've shown, if this was applied in a real poultry house?
Do you ask her check-in rate or detection rate?
Yes, this is an experimental setup, correct?
Yeah.
But in a real setup, it's going to be darker, and there's going to be a lot more chicken, and you're going to have chicken litter on the ground. How do you think this method will do in a real poultry house?
In a real poultry house, now I just use for these 10 chickens. For real poultry will maybe the next step in the future.
This is in an experiment chicken, and we are behind the scenes of the real chicken house now.
Okay.
So the idea is that we have to expand from the ending in the real chicken house, not using the training data from the industry. But for deep learning, we can learn the features in the real environment. That should be a problem.
Okay. Any other questions?
还有人问题，哎，不见了。
All right. Well, let's thank Chen-Yi.
好。
So our next presenter is actually not here, unless if she came recently, Jacqueline Gibson. So, because many people plan their attendance to the presentations, instead of skipping ahead, I would recommend that we actually don't skip ahead and just take a small break for this period.